This is Kyle Cross. Like you would have known that as you got this message with my name on my profile. I don't know if you remember, but we met briefly at your sister's wedding, which by the way, I truly have to say was probably the best wedding I've been to. In fact, I just saw Josh at work today and he's grinning from ear to ear. I'm so happy for them both. Stephanie came to me and has talked you up so much and says you're an amazing person. This is probably a little non-traditional, but if you were interested, I would love to talk and get to know one another. No pressure, of course. And shoot, anybody can use another good friend if nothing else. But really, if you were interested, I would be honored to spend time getting to know one another. Well, after that long message, hope this message finds you well.
Hey Kyle, I remember meeting you at the wedding. It was a very fun day and I'm excited for what God has ahead for Josh and Rhea. I've only heard a little about you, but would be interested in getting to know one another. And I agree that if anything, having more good friends is a positive. I'm currently at school in River Falls and try to come home at least one weekend a month. So maybe we could meet for coffee and talk. Hope your week is going great.
Know Kyle since he was, well actually before he was a twinkle in his mama's eye. Babysat him, I never changed his diaper. Ooh.
Remember we were at Josh and Rhea's house, and Rhea is my daughter-in-law and she married my son Josh. Josh was asking about who we could set Jonna up with. Kyle came up for Jonna and it was just like, yes, she would be perfect. Actually really praying for that, and I would tell Nancy, Kyle's mom, about how wonderful Jonna is. Anticipate and think of those two meeting at then Josh and Rhea's wedding.
We just feel that because of us, you are together. You know, because of who we are and how we got together, and really it was Rhea.
No, honey. Actually, Kyle and Jonna did meet at our wedding. We played a part, but it definitely wasn't just us.
Maybe the biggest part.
We did all collaborate together and decide that it'd be so good, and I supported that. It was so great, and I just knew that in order for this all to happen, that Jonna and Kyle would have to think each other are really cute, because you can't like somebody unless you think they're cute. At the wedding, Kyle's just standing there so forlorn and just alone at Josh and Rhea's wedding, and everyone was dancing and he was just by himself, and so I just kind of went up to him and I was like, hey Kyle, like, do you see Rhea's sister? Isn't she so cute? And he was like, yeah, she is cute. You know, she's just so beautiful inside and out, and she just loves Jesus so much, and she's so great. And I just really quick talked about Jonna and how wonderful she was really bad. And then after that, we all just prayed, and I did really pray that, Jonna and Kyle would find each other if that was God's will. And God is such a romantic God, and I really think He brought them together, and it's just so cool to be a part of that, to see our prayers answered right before our eyes, that God had something for Kyle and God had something for Jonna, and it was each other, and that's just so precious, and how our families are connected, and God's hand has just been all over it.
From a mom's perspective, I guess, when we were at Rhea and Josh's wedding, and they were all going down the aisle, and then Jonna came, and she looked so super cute, had this cute smile on her face. Kind of had in the back of my mind, of course, that there was a plan hatched to get Kyle and Jonna together. She was smiling at Rhea down the end on the other end of the aisle. He kind of had like a little giggle, and I guess I just know my son, and I thought, oh, I could tell it was just kind of like it touched his heart.
I remember meeting Jonna at the wedding, and previously, before the wedding, I remember hearing a little bit about Jonna from Thurston's, and afterwards thinking, oh yeah, I think she's like a perfect fit.
So when we heard about this guy, Kyle, it was kind of interesting that the Thurstons knew Kyle and the Cross family, and we knew that there's a great connection with them already, plus with Josh being a part of our family. Kyle was in youth ministry, and he was serving the Lord doing that, as well as Jonna having a heart for ministry as well, and we thought that would be great, so we started praying about it.
The very first time we met him, we really thought there was something special about Kyle.
That's right.
And so we continued to pray and just believe God for what was the best. The idea that we just loved the Thurston family, and that Kyle's parents, Nancy and Steve, were such good friends with the Thurston. I remember thinking, oh, this could be a great life with all of us together. And it certainly is turning out that way.
I remember Jonna being like, oh, Kyle and I have started to message back and forth, and I was like, oh, well, what kinds of things, you know, are you talking about in these messages, you know, and when are you gonna meet? And I think it was like the day before she was gonna go meet Kyle at the Tea Garden. And it was just so fun hearing in Jonna's voice, you know, this excitement, like, you know, I don't know what really is gonna come from this, but at the same time, I know that God's in it.
I am really glad that Kyle and Jonna are getting married. It's been a lot of fun being able to spend time with them. We get to, you know, go on double dates with them, hang out with them, and it's fun having Kyle around. The Len's in the house now. When we have family events, now it's not just me and Ray. We have a third person, and so it kind of even things out. So when it comes to deciding things, you know, we have another voice in there. And so yeah, it's just great having him around, and Rhea and I are really excited for them. Kyle and I grew up together, and so he's kind of like an older brother. If I had an older brother, Kyle would be kind of who my older brother was. Like a younger brother growing up, I had bruises. We had brotherly moments there, and
I remember when I first met you and your mom introduced us, and I met Joy at the same time too, and we met for about 15 seconds. You said, hi, I'm Kyle, and I said, hi, I'm Jonna, and that was kind of about it. And I remember, because my sister told me that our families wanted to set me up with someone, and a couple of days before she mentioned that it was you, and so I was trying to keep my eye on you at the wedding and at the reception, and I would, you know, randomly walk past your table to like make myself available for you to like have a conversation with me, or maybe ask me to dance or something like that, but nothing. Well, I just decided that, you know, I was just gonna trust the Lord, and I remember at the end of Rhea and Josh's wedding, we were cleaning everything up, and I clipped through the grease, there's these big windows, and I remember just standing by the windows and just praying to the Lord and just saying, okay, Lord, like, I just trust you with this, and if it's your plan for Kyle and I to get to know each other, then that's fine. If not, then I'm just gonna trust you that you know what's best. And then I honestly didn't actually think about you until you sent me that message, and then I was like, oh, like that moment flashed back, and it was just like the Lord just saying, see, like, this is what happens when you trust me.
The first meeting was like super brief. I mean, it was like, hi, how are you? Okay, bye-bye. So, and I, being the guy that I was completely oblivious to all the stuff that was going on in the background. So, but I do remember her walking down the aisle, and yeah, a few days later, I was a little surprised, because about 2 or 3 days later, it just would keep popping up in my mind about maybe I should messenger or get in contact with her or something. And so I decided I'm just gonna send her a message and see what happens. So that's what we kind of did. We started talking, and from there it's kind of history.
We first met a couple weeks after we started talking at the Tea Garden, which he didn't know, but I love tea, and that was one of my favorite places, and he suggested it, so I thought that was cute. And then we started talking on the phone more and got together a few more times, and then we started dating about a month and a half later, and just have had a lot of fun getting to know each other and getting to know all of our families, and it's just so fun how it's all connected.
Yeah. We want you to know that today is about you as well. So thank you for coming. You are all a part of our lives, and we just really appreciate you guys coming and sharing in this wedding with us as well. So thank you for making this a special event.
Maybe debate amongst our family on who wants the credit for bringing us together, but we just wanted to take a moment and just give the glory back to the Lord, because He truly has brought us together in His perfect timing. And you know, we've always just looked back on our relationship and on how the Lord brought us together, and just really know that it's a testimony of delighting ourselves in the Lord and Him giving us the desires of our heart and wanting to be married and be able to share life together, and by putting Him first, that He brought us together. And so we just wanted to just give glory to the Lord today through everything that happens in the ceremony and reception and through our interactions with you, and just thankful for you to be here, and we're excited for what the Lord has in store for us for today.
Diamond ring and 12 red roses, everything she ever wanted. All those dreams, and now they're finally here. She's so young and he's so perfect. They waited for love and it was worth it. She wants to feel like this for 100 years. 'Cause God is smiling down on them tonight. She wants to feel like this for 100 years.